Well, this is interesting. Not exactly what I expected to be coming on live about, but seems as if the Chicago Bears could be extremely interested in Nick Chubb. Per Cleveland's Ken Carman of 92.3 The Fan says that Nick Chubb is not coming back to the Browns, and he appears to be in close contact and closing in on a contract with an NFC North team. Is that the Chicago Bears? Does it make sense for the Chicago Bears to be that team? I'll be honest with you. There's not another team in the NFC North that's looking at running back. I don't see how it could be anybody else. Talk about all that and more on today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Drop a bird down in the chat if you're in this mug right now, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to showing love. Need y'all go ahead and do me a favor and
come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push the button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Sue Young said. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. I'm actually not even going. This is the cool part about having OBS. I'm actually not even going to say anything. I'm just gonna let the video play. We'll react to it and honestly kind of see if this makes sense that it is the Chicago Bears when you hear this. Let's listen into Ken Carman on the show today on 92.3 The Fan out in Cleveland.
Are we ready to say goodbye to Nick Chubb? A silence came over the room. Are we ready? I'll ask it again.
It seems
Are we ready to say goodbye to Nick Chubb?
It seems like it's over.
I got to tell you guys, maybe I shouldn't say it because it's going to kind of cast a pall over the room. I heard he is kind of getting close to another team. It happens to be in the NFC North.
You want to clarify that?
No. Not any further. All great things got to come to an end. And
why do you think it had to come to an end in this situation, especially this year?
I hope that I do. I hope he comes back. I really do hope, but it's looking more and more unlikely that both sides. I think both sides are kind of ready to move on. It seems to me. Are we ready to say?
So hearing that, I mean, listen, when you look at the NFC North, you look at the running back landscape in the NFC North now, we know Detroit does not need a running back. They've got David Montgomery. They've got Jahmyr Gibbs. We know that already. Doesn't seem like Minnesota's in the running back market much at all right now either. Would be very surprised if Minnesota was looking to bring in Nick Chubb here. And the Green Bay Packers aren't really in the running back market right now. And I think, listen, it only leaves one name on the board here, and it does leave the Chicago Bears. And I'll be honest with you, it depends on the contract that you're talking about bringing in. You know, I mean, I think you just went out and you drafted a 7th-round pick. There is no guarantee. I think all of us like what the Bears did in the 7th round of the draft, going out there and getting a young man from Rutgers. But let's be honest, right? It doesn't mean that he's going to make the team. 7th-round picks get cut from the team after being drafted all the time. I hope that is not the case for the Bears here, but it just feels like the Bears were looking for an answer at the running back position, and at every single turn, they were not able to get that answer at the running back position. Now, it was due to Ryan Poles' own moves of moving back on a continuous basis. So I don't think that you can sit here and just be like, oh, well, you know, it's the only option that the Bears had. I think that this is, you know, when you look at Nick Chubb, he had a completely down year after the injury, 102 attempts, 332 yards, had 3 touchdowns, 5 receptions overall, just never was the same, and then got injured yet again. And usually, look, when the injuries start to come, right, he's 29 years old, that's usually when things start to get ugly, and you just start to go downhill a little bit more. But maybe you're getting the good years of it. I guess here's my bottom line with it. If you're going to sign Nick Chubb, sign him to as team-friendly a deal as possible and hope for the best that you can get the Nick Chubb of 2 years ago, of 3 years ago, if we're being honest about this, because if you're talking about 302 carries, 1,500 yards, 12 touchdowns, yeah, You know what I mean? Like that to me is the best situation for you to get out of this on a team-friendly deal. I think Nick Chubb has no choice but to take team-friendly deals at this point, coming off of back-to-back injuries. I agree with you, Anon. A 1-year prove-it deal. If you're going to bring him in, it just, missing out on the running back in the draft on a consistent basis and then trying to fix that by going out and getting a guy who's been injured the last 2 years. Look, I get it if you're just taking a chance, even if you're just taking a flyer on like a camp deal here. But unless you feel confident that Nick Chubb is just 110% healthy, 110% back, which, listen, the weightlifting videos would make you think that, right? I think I saw him bench pressing, what was it, 6 plates on each side? I don't even know what the math is on that. On each side a couple of days ago, kind of showing, hey, I'm back. I'm feeling better. I'm actually back to where I was before the injuries and all of that stuff. I think that there's something to be said there, but in the long run of this whole thing, I'm just in this concerned space where it's like, is the Nick Chubb that you're getting somebody that you really can rely on? And if it's not, can you take a chance to actually go out and pick him up? Like, I don't know if you can and build around him. You know what I mean? I get it, taking a chance, but Nick Chubb's a name where he comes in even off of the injuries. If he makes this team, you're giving him the ball. I would rather see the young buck go out there and make those plays. How do you guys feel about Nick Chubb to the Chicago Bears? Let me know how you guys are feeling. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page if you have not done so. I mean, listen, Kenny's in here. He comes at it kind of. I don't know if I'm not even going to say aggressive. I think honest, right? When he says Chubb is washed, I kind of get why you feel that way. You know what I mean? I think that there's so many question marks around Nick Chubb right now that can you really say that the Chicago Bears are getting the best of the best version of him? Like you can't. There's no conversation where Nick Chubb, in my mind, makes sense to the Bears. Unless you're talking about like a very, very minimal deal. Right, I'm talking about like 1 year, $1.5 million. Like basically rookie money to bring and second, third, fourth round rookie money to bring him in. Like it doesn't make sense to me. Kevin Woodall said, you acted like they've signed him. I'm not acting like they've signed him. I'm just saying I'm having the conversation that is out here about somebody who apparently is very close to signing a deal with someone in the NFC North. Is there another team where this makes sense? Is there another team where Nick Chubb signing makes sense? You know what I mean? Like this is a tea leaf scenario, I guess, but I don't know. Chop Jr. says a 1 year prove a deal. If he's washed, so be it. But maybe he has something left in the tank. But at that point, right now, you're taking carries away from guys who are on the team who may not be washed. Right now, you're taking carries away, in my mind, from Ian Wheeler. Now you're taking carries away from, in my mind, even. Nah, I guess I don't mind you taking carries away from DeAndre Swift. If I'm being honest, like if you're taking carries away from Swift, I don't believe that that's going to be a great situation for the Bears right now, or for the run game in the future. Oh, I hit the wrong one. Hold on. This is the only thing about running OBS. Bears Junkie said, wait for training camp. Let's see what the new offensive line offers our current running backs. If it's not great, sign Chubb. Yeah, but I mean, I guess you're not missing out on anything, right? If you do sign him after. Right? Like you're not missing out if you miss out on him and you take your time and wait on it. But like even a guy like Kyle Monungai, you drafted him. Why not give him the shot behind this offensive line? Why not see if he is the answer? Like, I don't think that the running game situation is so bad with what you have or could pick up in the undrafted free agent market. What you added with Kyle Monungai, who was a really good running back at Rutgers, that if you had to go out there and make a decision on signing a guy who's banged up or going out there with the young guy that's going to be possibly the future of this team in the 7th round, why not? Baki said, honestly, I'm 50-50 on the Nick Chubb signing. On one hand, like you said, Pat, if he's healthy, he's an asset, but I'm not paying solid money. Legit, I would sign him for a 1 year, $1.1 million. I'll even say this. If he's healthy, is he the same guy? If he's healthy, are you getting the same kind of Nick Chubb back that you're hoping? Right? And is this a, I get it, 1.1 million, right? It's nothing. It's nothing money. But even if he's healthy, right? You're talking about a guy who's had 2 major injuries over the last couple of years. In my mind, at the running back position, knowing the kind of back that he is, knowing the kind of beating he's going to take, that's a tough sell in my book. And says, you right, I'd take my chance on Kyle. Listen, why not? The money you're going to commit to Chubb, you're already basically giving it to this young man. You want to see what he can do anyway. And in my mind, he gives you a more realistic option for the future than Nick Chubb does anyway. And I get it, right? It's kind of to get you through 1 year. It's kind of to stem you through 1 year. I'm not saying that this is going to be a 5-year deal that Nick Chubb signs with the Chicago Bears, right? It's a 1 year deal, probably no matter what. But I just feel like even in the undrafted market, right, you can go out there and find it. And I'll say this. It all comes down to if you feel like you did enough with your offensive line. If you feel like you did enough with your offensive line, I think that it makes perfect sense to go out there and just run with the guys that you have on the team. Because as much as I dislike how DeAndre Swift played last season, and I think a lot of people are trying to fool themselves into Ben Johnson all of a sudden being back in on DeAndre Swift. Like, look, he's the guy that traded him. We can pretend all we want that he's not, but he's the guy that literally went out and traded him. He's the guy that walked into the GM, the head coach's office, and said, we can move on from him. That's who that is. That's who your new head coach is. That's not going to change. To me, that doesn't change because they were apart for a couple of years. I would assume that there wants to be an upgrade there. And listen, if you can go down and find a way to get some of these young guys involved, that's the best case scenario. He was the OC. He didn't trade him. So you think that if Ben Johnson wanted DeAndre Swift on the team, they would have traded him. That's the stance you want to take on that. That's the stance that, which cracks me up. I love that so many people have this stance. Oh, well, he's not the GM. He's not Ben Johnson got just about everything that he wanted in Detroit. But that's where the line was drawn. I don't know. It seems far-fetched to me. It seems far-fetched to me in just about every sense of the word. Listen, it will be interesting to see if the Bears do go out and sign Chubb. If he makes sense here in Chicago, it'll be interesting to me to see what they end up signing him for. I feel like this is a situation for the Chicago Bears right now where why take a chance on a guy who's already been when you can take a chance on guys who haven't shown you anything yet behind a good offensive line, like we always see with the running back position. Like we always see with the running back position. JM said, spin it like you want. Ben Johnson himself said he likes Swift. Jesus, the facts don't match your opinion. The fact of the matter is DeAndre Swift was traded. Coaches say stuff all the time. Matt Eberflus walked in there on Monday, every Monday, and said we addressed the issues and we're going to get them fixed. That was a lie. Like we can pretend like coaches tell the truth at every sport, every turn here, but come on now. I get it. Bury your head in the sand. You guys love the $8 million back. That's great. Have fun. But I don't think this is an answer to fix the problem for the $8 million back. So he's a liar then. They all spin the truth, dog. What are we talking about? Have you never seen an NFL head coach? Have you never talked to well, I guess maybe not talked to, but have you never heard an NFL head coach say something that they were like, well, what's he supposed to say? Is he supposed to come out day one and walk in there and look at DeAndre Swift and then go on the podium and be like, nah, I hate the guy. No, I'd really prefer not to have him on my team. Come on now. We're smarter than this as a fan base, man. Chris Rickau, I do agree with that. For $8 million, I do think you have to stick with him. You know what I mean? For $8 million, I do think you have to stick with him. I'm not expecting DeAndre Swift to go anywhere. My point is, because that trust I don't believe is there in Swift, I don't think that this is the pivot that you need to go to. Right? I don't think that Nick Chubb is the pivot that you need to go to. Go with the young guys when it comes to running backs. It's the one position of all positions in football where I would much rather go with the young guys than go with the older veteran that's already beat up. You know what I mean? Like it literally is the one position where it actually makes more sense to test out the young guy. Look at what you just did in San Francisco last year. Your older veteran that had an injury history and got absolutely destroyed, but then got paid because he had one hot season, not healthy. You had 3 young guys step up because the offensive line was put together and it made it work. That to me, I think, makes a heck of a lot more sense than going out there and trying to run it back with a guy who's got so much tread on his body. And I mean, listen, even just looking at his numbers, just looking at his carries over his time in Chicago, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, over his time in Cleveland, it's just a lot of carries on the body at this point at 29 years old. You know what I mean? Like he's already at, what's he at? 1,300 carries. And that's with 2 years of injury. Being behind an offensive line that's been absolutely got him beaten and battered. Like, to me, I think it makes more sense to try and figure it out with the young guys, trying to figure it out with the guys that you have on your roster. You add in a guy like Kyle Monangai, who's a phenomenal pass blocker. You add in a guy like Kyle Monangai, who is who's really good, got really good balance, really good technique out of the backfield. Like it feels like it's a better situation. Hit the like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Let me know how you guys feel about it. Say Shy City said they have no young talented guys, really. Maybe Monangai, but he's a 7th rounder. We see 7th rounders hit. Literally the situation that you're in, Isaiah Pacheco. What you're trying to build, right? Like we see 7th round running backs hit. We see 6th round running backs hit. We see late running back talent hit all the time. Bro didn't fumble in college with 600 plus carries. Facts. You spelled carries wrong. Oh, you fixed it. I got you. Yeah, I think that plays a big part into it too. You know what I mean? The ball security, the fact that I think that he's incredibly intelligent. I think there's a ton of trust, you know, that they're going to have in this young man because of the ball security. But he's got to prove himself. Give him the opportunity to prove himself. Sir Lord Baby. That's a wild name, my guy. He said, yeah, but 7th rounders shouldn't be relied on ever. Listen, I mean, like it gets to a point where you're asking the question, do we trust the guy who we just drafted, who the coaching staff believed in enough to use a draft pick on him, even a late round draft pick, or do we go out and we add the guy who's coming off of multiple injuries, but now he can bench press, 650 again, or whatever it was. It was 6 plates on each side. And again, to me, the bigger conversation is all about, are you confident enough in your offensive line to say we can be strong enough in this run game behind Joe Tooney, behind Drew Dolman, guys who are really good at the run. Heck, even if Braxton Jones is in there, behind Braxton Jones, who I do think is a good run blocker. I think the pass pro is the biggest question. Behind Darnell Wright on that right side with Jonah Jackson next to him, do we feel confident enough to go out there and actually help this team moving forward in the run game? Let's not forget we arguably have the best running back coach in the league. I do think that plays into it too. How much trust do you have in Eric Bieniemy? How much trust do you have in what these guys can go out there and do? I do think that plays into it too. This coaching staff is going to coach a lot of these guys up as well. He said, hell, give Coda some carries before we sign a running back. Hey, man, I'm going to get up out of here, man. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you guys as well. Just want to come on here, talk about this news, and really see kind of what was going to be, what you guys were feeling about this, man. I think that this is not the move that I would want to see the Chicago Bears make, but we'll see what they do in the long run. As always, man, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down. One love.